G'day guys, it is Ben here from Hunt the Night with another viewfinder episode of our how to set up a RICO InfiRay series scope. What I'm doing today guys is just a bit of a walkthrough of the actual menu and functionality. So this is really the what the heck do I do now, I've got it in my hand type of thing. So I'm just going to take you through the menu functions and just how it all works. First things first, these ship as a monocular, so that the actual scope functionality isn't actually enabled by default. So if you've got it from me, it's going to come enabled, but sometimes I miss them, but usually I get them all done. And what you actually need to do is actually hold down the bottom three buttons. Now what I mean by bottom three buttons is the three buttons that are closest to the eyepiece. And you need to hold them down for about 7 seconds. And then you'll see on the viewfinder that in that top left-hand corner it says A109 yards. When you do that, it's going to say A100 because it'll be in metric up front. So let's just talk through it. Looking at this top little widget in the menu, and we have a moon with some stars that just basically tells me what color palette I'm on. The A109 relates to which profile in terms of rifle I've got this set up for. So my A profile, which for me is my 308, 109 yards is my zoom distance. That little Egyptian god symbol, also just an eye, tells me that I've got ultra clear mode turned on. 4x is my current magnification. That little symbol with an M next to it means I've got my shutter for my my nuking, my refreshing set to manual. And we'll go into that a bit more in a minute. Over to the right, that little screen with an off next to it means I'm not in sleep mode. The Wi-Fi symbol with a strike through it means my Wi-Fi is not turned on. Then I've got the time and my battery level indicator. Now, these have two levels of menu. And they're both activated by the main M button, which is the raised button on the actual scope. In order to get to the sub menu, which we'll go through first, it's a quick press of the M button. And there's not a lot of stuff in here, which is what I really like. We've got our color palettes, and to change them, we just press the M button again, and it will switch through our color palettes. If we go down, we can change our screen brightness. Oh, it gets a little trippy. We'll stick with 1. Then we have our sharpness, which can go through 5. I always like to keep it on 1. It's kind of nice and soft. And here, if you have multiple 0 profiles for your A, you can change it by pressing the 109 and it will flick through the ones that you've got. Extending and holding down the M button will get out of that short menu. To get into the full menu, you press the same button, but you hold it down for 3 seconds. And this brings up our full menu. So going down the actual icons, we've got our ultra clear mode. You can see I've got it turned on. If I want to turn it off, I can just by pressing the menu button. And now I've got to refocus everything because that really stuffed everything up. Bear with me. The joys of not being able to film widgets. I might actually pause this and get back to you in a sec, guys, once I've got it reset back up. All right, now I've got it reset back up. We won't do that again. Scrolling down, we've got Wi-Fi. We can turn our Wi-Fi off or on, and you'll see the little icon up the top change. The default password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Video output, if we want to record through the video out, that's done through the hardwired cable and the RCA little cable. This is where we change our shutter calibration method. You can have it on automatic, which means you'll miss every fox you'll try and shoot because you'll get the nuking at the most inappropriate times. It will give you a little countdown up the top. I think it's 5 seconds or 3 seconds when it's going to refresh. Manual means you do not need to cover the lens. You just need to tap the power button and it will refresh. If you put it on background mode, you need to tap the power button, but it'll actually give you a little icon first saying cover the lens. You actually need to cover the lens in background. So I actually just keep it in manual. That way I've got full control over it. Scrolling down, we can now start to turn on some of our widgets. We have our compass, and you can see that turn on. Then we have our gravity sensor, which is basically our pitch and our roll, or elevation and and pitch. Why they call it gravity sensor, I don't know. Here we've got our different reticles, and this is where we also choose which platform we're using. I can choose from A, B, or C. Now, the reticle that you use is going to be the same for every rifle and every profile. It doesn't save these individually. So unlike on my pulsar, which I find it pretty handy because I know as soon as I turn it on, I've got it set up that I'll have a different reticle for every profile I've got, so I just know, but this one is the same for everyone. Going down, we've got our zeroing. Now, you've seen my video. Well, if you haven't, I've got a video on the YouTube channel on zeroing, but here, that's where we actually, find it all. I'll get back out of there and just reactivate the menu. Standby mode. So this will actually put the unit display into standby. You can have it set for 2, 4, 6 minutes, or you have it turned off. Really good if you're shooting from a stand and you just want to quickly start the scope up and let it shut down automatically. To start it back up, you just press the power button and that'll actually turn it back on, just a quick press of that. Rangefinder, again, I've covered this off in another video. This is for the zeroing of the rangefinder. Pixel defect. I'll go into this one a bit more in another video as well, just to how to fix and basically clone pixels. The compass calibration, which I'm not going to go into, you can read about that in the menu because it really sucks, but that'll actually help calibrate the actual compass. You've got to roll it around in certain ways. It's just not something I can film because I'm in a tripod. And then we just get into our standard stuff like date and time, our language, whether we want it in yards or meters, and our status auto hidden. So if we turn this on, and I'll do that because we'll see it in a minute, I'll turn that on, and in a few minutes what you'll see when I get out of this, and we can do a factory reset and we can do the info, and the info will tell us all the software. And if I just hold the menu button down and get out of this, what the status will do, turning it off, is after a short period of time, it's actually going to shut all my widgets off up the top there. So now all I've got is the viewfinder. Now I sometimes find that stuff a little bit distracting. And I just press the menu button and it appears again. So if you don't want all that on at the same time, all you need to do is just turn that auto status hiding on. So guys, that's pretty in a nutshell. Watch this one, watch my LRF Zero, watch my zeroing video as well. Then you'll get a real comprehensive idea of how these RICO scopes work. You'll know how to zero it, you'll know how to get through the menu system, change your color profiles and everything else. As always, guys, come and join us on Hunt the Night Thermal Hunting Experts. We're also running the official Facebook group for InfiRay called Australian InfiRay Thermal Users. So jump into that too. That'll have all this technical information, and also that's just focused on the InfiRay products, where our Hunt the Night one covers everything we sell. Yeah, as usual, guys, say hello to your mum. Treat her well, and have a good day, and I'll catch you on the next video.